2023 is behind us, so today we're looking at what's in store for 2024.
I keep it real, I keep it real, I keep it real, just keep it real.
All right. Hey, what's up guys? It's Sam Hartman, keeping it real estate here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And as always, I am trying to help bring some context and clarity to the real estate market so that you as consumers can be confident making your real estate decisions. So today we are going to look ahead to 2024 at some projections of some key market trends and indicators. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the total home sale forecast for 2024. And if you watched my most recent video, I talked about how the real estate market crashed in 2023. Well, it didn't crash in prices, it crashed in the number of transactions. We might not even hit 4 million homes sold across the United States, which is about a 20% reduction from the previous year, and even more than that than what is typical in average for our real estate market. We typically average between 5 and 6 million sales per year. So we've got 3 expert indicators that are projecting the number of sales that are going to happen in 2024. They are from the National Association of Realtors, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and Fannie Mae. And so National Association of Realtors expects 5.5 million homes, right there in the sweet spot of what is typical and average for our market. MBA says 5.1 and Fannie Mae says 4.7. So if we average these 3 experts, these 3 entities and their projections, that puts us at 5.1 million sales in 2024. This would be great news. This would be probably over 1 million more homes selling in 2024 versus 2023. And that tells me a few things. For one, anytime a home sells, it is great for the economy. There is a lot of money that gets infused into the economy at every sale of a home. So that is going to be a great signal for the economy in 2024. Guess what else we need to be able to sell 1 million more homes this year? We need more homes to sell. So that must mean we're expecting inventory to increase in 2024. This would be a great thing because this would give buyers more options, which buyers have been wanting for 5 years now. So if we get more listings, that could really help lead to this increase in the number of sales this year. And then lastly, we gotta have buyers willing to buy those listings. So it tells me that buyer demand is going to remain strong, even in an interest rate climate that has been elevated for a while now. But we'll get there. We've got some great reprieve signals coming about interest rates, and that could play a huge factor in the 2024 market. Now let's get to the juicy part. Let's get to home prices and what might happen there. And now in this graph, we have 8 different entities that are making their home price appreciation forecasts for 2024. Now, last year I talked about these forecasts and they always were adjusted and changed throughout the year. So obviously forecasts are subject to change, but this gives us a good idea of the prognosis, of the outlook of some of these entities and the experts of what they're seeing and what they should expect based off the market trends that we're seeing right now in the market. And so from as high of a projection as 4.1% appreciation to as low as 1.7% depreciation, and that's MBA expecting on the high end appreciation and Realtor.com expecting on the low end, the average of all 8 of these expert entities are projecting about a 1.5% increase in home values in 2024. Now, this is good news. During the COVID years, we were seeing 10%, 15%, 20+% appreciation in those years. And that is really hard to sustain, and that is going to really hurt buyers and their affordability. So seeing a little lower, a little more typical and modest appreciation is a good thing for buyers. They can budget and plan their purchases with more lead time and more footing of what to expect out of the real estate market. So no matter where we fall on this scale, on the high end at 4.1% or on the low end at -1.7, I don't expect our Fort Wayne market to fall into the red in this regard. But even if that were to happen, owning real estate is a long journey. It's a long road. It's not a get rich quick. So if you're a buyer this year, you have the potential to buy in a more moderate climate and then still ride the waves and the growth of wealth and appreciation of your home in the future. I've showed this graph before, but it's always a great graph to revisit. Home price appreciation over the last 30 years in the United States averages over 300% appreciation. So wouldn't it be better to start that journey as soon as possible? But let's not just talk about 2024. Let's help these buyers plan their purchases, plan a few years out. So we're going to look at price appreciation from 2023, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And so you can see 2024 is the most modest of those price appreciations. And now this is a little bit more than that last graph I showed you. This number I'm pulling from the Home Price Expectation Survey. I love the Home Price Expectation Survey because this is a survey of 100 economists and real estate experts and people in the know providing their opinions. So out of those hundreds of opinions, we're going to get a really good average and a really good look of what to expect. 2023, we did see some good modest appreciation. Fort Wayne was actually above the national average with ending the year, so that is a great sign for our local market. And then we fall into a little bit more of a modest growth trend. 2024 on the low end at 2.17%, but growth continues into 2025, into 2026, into 2027, as high as 4.18% with that projection. Now, I like these projections. I think what's really going to affect these projections is what happens with interest rates. If we see as much reprieve as we hope for in 2024, I think the growth could be even stronger in 2024. But certainly 2025, we expect the rate climate to be much more favorable for home buyers. And so we do expect to start seeing that price appreciation to start to steamroll and pick up a little bit going forward. So I always tell buyers, have a 5-year plan in mind. If you're gonna buy a home, you should plan to live there for at least 5 years before selling. This chart gives me really great warm and fuzzy feelings for buyers buying in the market today that they're gonna be in a good window 5 years from now. Now let's talk about those mortgage rates. And last year I would cover a lot of different entities and their mortgage rates projections. And I tell you what, following the mortgage rate projection game was a fool's errand. Everybody was wrong, everyone was off, nobody knew what the Fed was doing or what the monetary policy was going to be in any given week or month. And we really got raked over the coals with projections in 2023. So let's just take a look at the facts. And here are where interest rates are today as of November 30th of 2023. And so we saw a ramp up of interest rates hitting a high in October of 8%. This indicator shows just under 8%, but I saw a lot of the averages were saying 8+% in the mid-October timeframe. But ever since then, we've seen a good, steady precipitous drop. We've also had some really great positive news coming out of the Fed meetings about their monetary policy going into 2024. They expect to make several rate cuts in 2024, which is what instantly started bringing interest rates down because that was positive news, and everything seems to react just to news, not even the actual things happening, but just the news of things happening. The interest rates reacted to that. So that was positive there. Now, the key thing that will be important is that we keep inflation low and we keep it steady. If we can do that going throughout 2024, this rate policy should stand. If we see a rise in inflation, if we see a rise in incomes and consumer spending and wages, that might hurt what is happening on the interest rate side of things, and the federal government might have to put tighter constraints on interest rates again. So these are the things that we don't know. These are the things that we can't know right now, but that we should at least be aware of and how they will affect interest rates going into 2024, because interest rates will play a huge role this year, just like they did last year and the year before that. So on that note, I'll quote a few people much wiser than me, much more in the know than me, much higher positions, much above my pay grade, so that we just bring a little bit of expert context to the interest rate conversation. And so Daniel Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, says that mortgage rates will continue to ease in 2024 as inflation improves and Fed rate cuts get closer. A key factor in starting to provide affordability relief to home buyers. So true. Interest rate changes provide so much affordability and availability to buyers in terms of their mortgage payments and their monthly out-of-pocket. So improving interest rates will go such a long way in terms of that affordability picture for home buyers out there. And then we have a quote from the National Association of Realtors that says, mortgage rates likely have peaked and are now falling from their recent highs of 8%. This likely will improve housing affordability and entice more home buyers to return to the market. So those buyers returning to the market when rates hit 8% or over the long drudge of high interest rates all of last year, buyers might finally be saying enough is enough. Home sellers might finally be saying enough is enough. I need to make a move. My family is growing. I need to buy that bigger house. My marriage is falling apart. I need this divorce and need to move out. Those pains and pleasures of life are starting to drag on people, and staying put is going to be a drag. So with improving interest rates, we expect those buyers, but also those sellers, to start to make moves. So I think this will play a huge part of the real estate market in 2024. I hope this information is helpful. What do you think is going to happen in the real estate market in 2024? Are you excited and optimistic? Are you fearful and afraid and pessimistic about what might happen in the real estate world? Let me know. But more importantly, let me know your questions and concerns, because I want to answer those directly. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Keep it real estate out there.